Tens. Mic check. What is good, my people? How we doing today, DYF family? Let's go. I'm super geeked. Not only is it a Friday, not only do we have the weekend ahead of us, not only is the first weekend of the new year, but yesterday we had a beautiful day here on the channel. I wish I could hit the air horn. But it's not a sweep. Sweep. Do appreciate y'all guys for tapping in on this Friday, the January 3rd. It's your boy Noble Living. This is the Free 3, where I'm here every single day breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. Shout out to all my people on the YouTube. Shout out to all my people on the Twitch. We did an extra stream yesterday. We're going to go through everything that we've done here on the channel because it's been a good start to the year. W, bankroll management. W, not overextending yourself, not trying to take too many plays, just trying to take it as it comes. And listen, it worked out in our favor for us yesterday, so hopefully we can keep the momentum going. Thank you for everybody who's come out and supported the stream thus far, gave us winners yesterday. So let's dive into what we did yesterday, all right? Real quickly, let's look at how we did. Just get us started. January the 2nd. First, Notre Dame. First half money line, guys. Was there ever a sweat? On Notre Dame first half? Yes, okay, there was a sweat. I ain't gonna lie. Georgia, when that bro ran that like 60, 70-yarder and then it got called back because of the coach or that one player running onto the field or interfering with the ref, I was nervous. But, like I said, the interception at the end or the fumble, field goal, we got it done. Notre Dame, first half money line. Let's get it, okay? Then we did under 45.5. So we had the under 45.5. We also had the teaser going from the day before with the Ohio State over and then the Georgia under on the teaser. So we took it straight up. We took it on the teaser. Both of those bets hit. So 3-0 on the college football bets yesterday, okay? Going over to the college basketball slate, we cooked up some bankroll builders, some money line parlays, right? We did that. That was great to see. And it's always a good day when you cook up the money line lays and what happens? The two games that you get wrong happen to be on the same card. That's what I was trying to do. If I got one wrong, I didn't want it to be split across two different games. So what we were able to do yesterday, let's look at it real quickly. Memphis and UC Irvine. It took overtime for UC Irvine, but we got it done. Memphis, no sweat bet there. Our second money line parlay, Purdue and Elon were the main legs. Wright State was just added in there to give us extra value. We got it done. Well, our only loss on the day was Maryland. They lost. UNC Wilmington, they lost. Arkansas State, they won, right? So the two legs that had lost in our moneyline parlay, we did do this as a full parlay as well. It did hit. Not the parlay missed. The parlay missed, but the two legs were on the same parlay that missed. So that's what led us to a 5-1 day. Because if one of them was here, one of them was here, then we would have had a bad day, but we were able to get it done. So 5-1 on the day yesterday. And truthfully, to get the year started, we are 7-2, my friends. We are 7-2. Look at the year-to-date record to kind of get us started for the new year here. Let me zoom in a little bit. 7-2 here. These NFL records, all the records are dating back to last season, obviously from last year, just because that's when the season happened. I love the CBB record. We love this college football record. And then tomorrow, I don't know why X stopped working. And then tomorrow, we're going to be here with the NFL with a Saturday card in the NFL, all right? So let's dive into these winners real quickly, trying to stick to the original format of the Free 3. I don't want the full video to be like 30 minutes every time, even though it is a stream, so it is a little bit longer, but my plan is to come back on stream a little bit later on in the day once we get a little bit more news, all right? So let's kind of talk about real quickly the Notre Dame, Georgia recap. I'm not going to dive into it too long. You guys watched the game. Exactly the game script that I thought was going to happen happened. Notre Dame was going to run the ball. They obviously ran way more with Leonard than I thought they were going to do. Shout out to Booker with Trent for hitting his parlay there and getting that done. So they did, so Notre Dame did run it, and then I did think Georgia was going to take shots with Stockton, which they did, forced him to have to step up, and he didn't play bad. Georgia just got outclassed. Shout out to Kirby Smart for being a sore loser, talking about the 11 on, 11 off. That's not why you lost the game, buddy, okay? That's not why you lost the game. It wasn't the substitution. Take your loss like a man. No SEC. Can we consider Texas an SEC team? I mean, no original SEC team is still in the college football playoff. I could not be more happier for somebody who lives in the South, who's been living in the South, and just to hear all those fans just shut up for once. Trust me, I'm happy about it. All right, I'm very, very happy about it. But now today, we can't rest on yesterday's wins. We have to move into the board for today, all right? So for today, what we're going to be taking a look at is some college basketball action. I would love to touch on some NBA, but the problem with the NBA right now is you just never know who's playing. The injuries, the ups and downs, you just never know who's involved, okay? So for us, what we're going to do here with the college basketball slate, very similar to what we did yesterday. We're going to cook up some winners, maybe some straights, maybe some money line parlays, okay? One of the things that I mentioned yesterday on yesterday's stream to keep in mind, some college basketball betting tips for you guys. One, the lines are sharp, okay? Teams are losing on the hook, they're winning on the hook. The over and unders are very sharp. Keep that in mind. Do your research. Don't just blindly tail things. Don't just blindly throw things at the wall just because you think it's going to hit. The second thing, avoid the fix, okay? There's some games today where we can see the fix is brewing, okay? There's some games today where we think the fix is brewing. I'll talk about that here in a little bit more in a second. But one thing that I saw yesterday when I was looking at the full slate, especially the money line favorites, right? I told you we avoided Oregon. They lost. Good thing we avoided them. Oregon State, we avoided them. They lost. Good thing we avoided them. But a few of the teams, Maryland, UC Irvine that we were on, right? Even UNC Wilmington that we were on. One thing that could have helped is if we took the first half money line and not the full game money line. Now, this is something that I've typically am a big advocate for, a big fan of. But the problem with taking the money line in the first half is when you have a big favorite, sometimes, and I say sometimes, they get off to a slow start. And if they get off to a slow start, then they lose the first half and they end up winning the game. And if you're taking the full game money line, you would have been fine, but you took the first half. So it's always a toss-up. But the thing about the first half money line is, you get better odds value. Two, you sometimes don't have to worry about the home team coming back and rallying. We saw that yesterday when for Maryland, for an example, they were at Washington, came out to a hot start. Washington, the home team, rallied late in the game and won the game. They won in the second half, but they lost the first half. If we had taken the first half money line, we would have been fine. So that's one thing I wanted you guys to keep in mind, and that's one thing that we're going to add to our handicapping for today. So let's dive into the board real fast, all right? Let's look at this board. Let's look at this slate. I'm going to try to figure out a way to increase the quality on the stream, guys. I was looking at it on YouTube the other day, and I am not impressed. Not happy at all. Okay? So, real quickly, let's talk about the fix real fast. All right? Let me look at a game where we can find the fix. Okay? For an example. Okay. Well, that's not one. Okay, right here. This is a good fixed game. We've got a Marist team that's 9-2, 2-0 against the number. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm trying to zoom in enough so this way you guys can see everything. Okay, Marist 9-2 on the year, 2-0 in conference. Iona 4-9 on the year, 1-1 in conference. They're at home, but Iona is favored by 2.5 points. How is a team that is 4-9 favored over a team that's 9-2? I don't care you're at home. Yes, home court advantage matters, especially in college basketball, but I don't really care if that matters. So, because of that, you can tell this line's a little bit iffy. This line is a fixed line, as my boy Ref would like to say. So for me, I like to stay off of these games. They are sometimes the way to take this is also like a perk your ears up, because if you had looked at yesterday's board, you would have hit a lot of bets with a lot of underdogs if you had taken some of the fixers. For an example, Illinois was the underdog. Oregon lost at home. Let's look at another one. I'm trying to see here. Longwood and Presbyterian. I spoke about that game yesterday on the longer stream. 11-5 against 8, and this team was 7-8 at the time, right? And they win this game. They were favored at home. Presbyterian, you could have gotten that like minus 105. It wasn't a huge favorite, but you could have gotten that, right? So these are some of the things that you guys have to take a look at here. Some of those fixes where you got okay, Troy ended up winning. They were down. Troy didn't look too good. Colgate, 4-10 on the year. They were favored. They beat a 6-6 Army team. So those are the fixes that I'm talking about, right? Lehigh goes into overtime with a 4-10 team. That's what can happen come conference time. So keep that in mind, all right? So for today's picks, what I'm looking at first is on the college basketball slate, This Iowa-Wisconsin game is first up. All right, let's go to KenPom real quickly. Let's dive into a little bit of what I'm looking at here. Iowa, don't let their 10-3 record deceive you. Yes, they are 10-3, but the problem is it is a weak 10-3. Every time they've stepped up in class, Washington State, okay, semi-home game, they got the win. Utah State, they lost on a neutral floor. Michigan, they lost on the road. Iowa State got smacked at home. Utah, okay, neutral floor. But this is what concerns me. 359, 344, 347, 321, 352. That's a very weak non-conference schedule. Not going to lie to you. Utah State, good team, but a mid-major, right? Northwestern, that's a conference game, okay. Washington State, same thing, not that good of a team. Meanwhile, let's look at Wisconsin. They beat number 19 Arizona, number 65 UCF, number 25 Pittsburgh, number 74 Butler, right? And then they lost to Michigan. Tough loss, conference loss, but Michigan's good. Lost to Marquette on their road for their first two road game, and then Illinois is a very good program. So even though they lost 3 games in a row, we only have 2 300s here compared to about 405 for Iowa. 16th in adjusted efficiency, 15 in turnover percentage, but this is the stat right here. Number 1 in free throw percentage. This matters. Number 1 in free throw percentage. Because let's look at Iowa. Iowa offensively, 295th in free throw percentage. This game gets close late. These college games always come down to the wire. It comes down to free throws. It comes down to young kids doing boneheaded BS sometimes. And I want to take the home team in a tougher environment. That's the better free throw shooting team that doesn't turn over the ball, that's very efficient on offense. Defensively, they can work on a few things. And that's where Iowa can stand an advantage because Iowa can shoot the lights out of the ball 100%. But if we get down late, free throws, steal percentage, turnovers. That matters. And that is where Wisconsin has the difference here. They have the strongest schedule. I also love the fact that they're 0-2 in conference play. You cannot afford to get down 0-3 in conference play, especially in a very tough conference like the Big Ten that has some new members this year like UCLA, like USC. You don't want that uphill climb. So for me, Iowa, Wisconsin, we're going to load them up on the money line. So let's go here to Action Network where we can officially start keeping track of our plays a little bit more officially. The reason why that is because before the new year, I was throwing a whole bunch of bets in here. You can see 163 total bets, right? We finally were able to break even. So we're 82-80 here. 50% win percentage, so we can kind of start fresh and clean. If you look at some of the picks that we were able to generate yesterday from the stream, so let's go through what we did yesterday. This is the Ron Bozo pack. Shout out to Ron Mucking Clan for giving us OKC and Golden State Warriors right there. Bam was my under bet of the day. I'm trying to take one under bet of the day. So that cashed in. We cashed in our 3 team. We spoke about these already. We lost on our long shot parlay. The only 2 legs that lost, we went 5-7, not too bad. And then we lost this 3 leg right here. Notre Dame first half, under 145.5. And then if you guys tapped into the full stream yesterday, I gave you guys over 147 in the UNF Austin P game if you guys wanted some action during the day. So we're officially loaded up on the action because we're at 50% win percentage. ROI is very low, $62 profit, whatever. So we're good to go there. All right. So if you guys aren't following Noble Living on Action, make sure you guys are following us on Action so you guys can stay up to date on all the latest plays. So what we're going to cook up here is first Wisconsin on the money line. If you want to lay the 6.5 point spread, I'm not opposed to it. It is a conference game, so it can get a little dicey. And look at some of these winners from streams that we cooked up yesterday. Reeves 6 assists, Randall's 4 assists, that cash. Austin Reeves over 24.5 points and rebounds, that cash. Warriors and Thunder money line, that cash. Harden didn't play, but that probably would have cashed. So we had a good day, okay? So let's go to today. Let's start cooking up, all right? So we've got Wisconsin here on the money line. All right, that's our first leg of our money line parlay that we are cooking up for here, January the 3rd. Let's keep going through the board here. Let's stop off at Michigan State and Ohio State. Michigan State plus 1.5, plus on 105 on the money line. 11-2, taking on a 9-4 team. Yes, they are on the road. Yes, Ohio State has had a few quality wins, winning 3 in a row, including beating Kentucky on a neutral floor. I was on Kentucky in that game. But Ohio State, another team, when they step up in class, they worry me. Okay, Auburn, blowout loss. I was at that game. Maryland, tough loss. Okay, blowout loss. Pittsburgh in overtime. Pittsburgh's a pretty good team. They won that game at home. Texas A&M, another good team. They lost that game. Okay, they were able to beat Texas, which is a great win. Rutgers, it's a kind of a hit or miss win because Rutgers is just inconsistent. It's like they come and go as Ace Bailey comes and goes. But let's look at Michigan State here. They're 11-2. 2-0 in conference play. Their only two losses came on a neutral floor to Kansas and then came on a neutral floor to Memphis. They beat North Carolina in overtime. They were able to pick up a true road win at Minnesota, kind of. Now they have to go now on the road to a very tough place to play in Ohio State. KenPom has this as a 76-73 loss for Michigan State. And I get it because it's their first real true road game. I mean, Minnesota is not really that tough of a place, first game in conference. But I think this is a Michigan State team that's been slept on. Tom Izzo has a lot of talent. Let's go down here. Look at this. I love when I see the key contributors spread out across the board. What does that tell you? Their team does not live and die from one person. It could be Jaden Atkins one day. It could be Jeremy Fears another day. It could be Trey Holloman one day. It could be Jackson Collar. It could be all four of them giving you 12 points, and before you know it, that's 60 points right there. That's what matters. And when you look at Ohio State here, they are another balanced team, but they kind of run everything through Devin Royal, right? The second-year guard. Nothing wrong with it, right? But the thing that concerns me with Ohio State, sorry, clicking around here. Things that concerns me with Ohio State is the fact that these shooting numbers, 13 in three-point percentage, 47th in two-point percentage, 16th in effective field goal percentage, 32nd in turnover percentage. They look good on paper, but when you really look at this, they haven't faced any true defensive teams besides Auburn. They lost that game by 40. Maryland, they lost that game by 30-something. Texas A&M, they lost that game by 14. Those are all teams that are predicated on defense. Look at Auburn defensively, 12th in defensive efficiency. Let's look at Maryland, 11th in defensive efficiency. Look at Texas A&M, 6th in defensive efficiency. Now we've got Michigan State, 18th in defensive efficiency. That is the difference in this game for me. Michigan State on the money line, plus 105. We're locking that in for pick number 2. On the road, I know it's a tough spot. I know a lot of people in Ohio are high off of their college football playoff win. I get it. It's a football school right now. They'll care about basketball a little bit later. Ohio State will probably make the make the NCAA tournament. But for me, we're going one unit down, Michigan State, plus 105. This is a team that's been flying under the radar. They're still not ranked at 11-2. People have not been giving them their credit. But when you look at some of the numbers here, they're 8-5 against the spread, 2-0 against the number on the road. I like this. I like this Michigan State team, and you can see here they're a little bit more of an under team, and I think that favors Michigan State from a defensive battle. So we're going to lock that in at plus 100 for our first official pick, okay? We got our money line going with Wisconsin, We've got Michigan plus 105. I like Xavier today against Creighton. We're going to do one long shot at the end of the video, right? But I love Marquette today. The two-leg parlay with them and Wisconsin is not going to give us enough. Okay, we're gonna have to get into our bag a little bit. But Marquette is an 8.5, 9.5 point favorite against Creighton today. Creighton is 9-5 on the year. They're on the road. They've been dealing with injuries. KenPom has this as an 11-point win. Marquette is 3-0 in conference. We're looking at all of it live right here. Okay, and look at these conference wins. 10-point win at home against Butler. Sweaty win against Xavier, and then against Providence went into one of the toughest places to play in all of college basketball in the Duncan Center in Providence, Rhode Island, and won that game by 28 points. That's solid. That is solid. 12th in offensive efficiency, 10th in defensive efficiency, 3rd in turnover percentage. Shaka Smart's got these boys playing good basketball up there in Milwaukee. Creighton, every time, bro, I can't get a read on this team. St. John's was favored on the road against them, and that's when I knew it was a little bit fishy. That was a fishy line, and Creighton ended up getting the win. Villanova, They're not that good. Let's be honest. This Georgetown loss, I was on Creighton that game. That's when I said Creighton might be banned. Look at these numbers. 62nd offensive efficiency, 41st in defensive efficiency, 360th in turnover percentage on the defensive side. What does that tell you? They don't turn over the ball. They don't force turnovers. Against Shaka Smart's defense that is known for creating turnovers, you've got a team that is bottom 5 in college basketball in terms of creating turnovers, and they turn over the ball a lot. Marquette, lay the spread. Lay the spread. You can see the line opened at 8.5 is now at 10. Lay it. I'm not opposed to it. But this is one of the games where I said we can maybe learn from yesterday's mistake. Instead of taking the full game, why don't we just get the better value here? Take out the full game. Why don't we just go first half money line a little cheaper? How about that? We go first half money line a little bit cheaper. We go the full game money line with Wisconsin. Instead of it being minus 150, we're at minus 128. And why don't we just find somebody in here who's supposed to blow the roof off of somebody? I don't think we have any of those games today. So we've got Wagner. Why would we take Wagner? Because Chicago State's 0-15. Because Chicago State is 0-15. That's why we would take Wagner. If you don't know anything about Wagner, it's okay. It's okay. Because Chicago State, they're 0-15. Do we need to talk about anything else? I would throw Merrimack in there on the money line, but that game starts at 3 o'clock. If you want to do that, you can. You can see we get to plus 130 there. But why don't we just throw Chicago State in there or Wagner in there? That gets you to plus 107. All right? Let's lock that in for parlay number 2. The two leg builders off of that is Marquette in Wisconsin. And then we took Marquette first half, and we just threw Wagner in there. If you want to throw an NBA in there, be my guest. Those are the two best bets that we're locking in right now for this Friday card. Third and final pick that I'm giving you guys. Let's go to the NBA. All right? We're still waiting on some injury news, guys. I love this Knicks Thunder matchup tonight. Shout out to the Knicks. I'm looking at Karl-Anthony Towns rebounds, okay? Thunder give up top 6 or top 7 rebounds to the center position. You can see right here. I was looking it up earlier. Right? To the center position. Where are we at here? The Thunder, right here. So they're like 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we know what Karl-Anthony Towns can do on the board. He can grub. I don't want to touch any player props right now until I get a little bit more information. Instead of taking Wagner, if you want to take the Pistons on the money line at home, I'm not opposed to that in the two-team steam. You could do that. It's just NBA scares me. Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball play. Hornets could easily sneak one. I'm not 100% sure. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Grizzlies game against the Kings. Kings are at home. Fired Mike Brown. Have won 2 games in a row since they fired Mike Brown. Shout out to them for finally figuring it out. Even though I'm still upset about the firing, and I know De'Aaron Fox is too. But Philadelphia, they didn't cover on the spread. And truthfully, Philly blew that game. I don't know if you watched that game. Paul George, I don't know what the hell he was doing out there. He blew that game. Dallas, they're banged up right now. And that's the dead cat bounce because they fired Mike Brown right here. So normally after you fire the coach, next game the team comes out and win. That's classic betting spot, dead cat bounce. Let's look at the Grizzlies. They beat the Suns in Phoenix. Cover the 5.5 number outright. 182 on the money line. Look at that. OKC, tough loss. OKC's OKC. They go down to New Orleans, 132. Smack them. Cover the 7-point spread. Against Toronto, 155. They cover the 11-point spread. They were favored at home against the Clippers day before Christmas, but Clippers were able to get that win. Good win for the Clippers. But I like the way this offense is scoring for the Grizzlies. 117, 106 against a very tough OKC team. OKC is top 3 in the NBA in terms of least of points allowed per game. New Orleans Pelicans, 132, 155. They had 130 in this game through 3 quarters. This Memphis Grizzlies team is almost healthy. Almost healthy. The reason why I say that is I got to look at this injury report. Marcus Smart, he's been playing here and there. Brandon Clark, same thing. And then Zach Edey, same thing. But I like Memphis here. Look at these numbers against the spread. 23-10 against the number. 10-5 on the road. Meanwhile, the Kings, 11-2 against the number. 5-13 against the number at home. This is what I do as a trend better. I look for these trends. So we've got a team fire their head coach, win 2 games in a row, feeling good, maybe turning the ship around, doubtful. Against a Grizzlies team that's won 3 of their last 5. Most of their games have been on the road, but they did get some days of rest in between here. We've got a team that's 23-11 straight up, 23-10 against the number, better against the number on the road than we've got a team that is at home. You're giving me 4 points here because, well, the line's moved a little bit. It opened at 4.5, which is really the number that I'd want, in all honesty. So we get at 3.5. I would try to get 4.5 live. So this way you can be able to get like the 2 free throws. But I think Memphis wins this game outright. We're taking Memphis plus 3.5 for 1 unit down. That is our free 3 picks of the day. So a quick recap for today. This is what we're going with. Let me pull this out here. We got our notebook right here. We've got Wisconsin. We've got Marquette on the first half money line. Those are the 2 pillars. Throw in a big favorite. We're throwing in Wagner in there on the money line. That gets us to plus 107. Again, you can do Detroit Pistons. I don't know who else you want to throw in there, okay? We got Michigan State, money line, plus 1.5. I don't lay plus 1.5s. I don't lay minus 1.5s. It doesn't make any sense, okay? Just take the money line, live and die. And then we got Memphis in the NBA, plus 3.5, minus 110. Last thing I'm going to do for you guys real quick, and I'll hop on stream a little bit later on this evening around 5 o'clock-ish or so to go through a last little bit of stuff. Let's cook up a long shot here. Just a little fun long shot, just because I'm a little biased here, just a little biased, okay? Let's say we take the Grizzlies on the money line to get it done, okay? Let's just say I want to take the Knicks, but let me not be biased. Let me not be biased. Let's go Michigan State here. And let's go Xavier here. Georgetown, I expect some reverse. Ed Cooley, shout out to Ed Cooley. Great coach, great coach. But the way Georgetown's shooting the ball right now is just so unrealistic. It's just so unrealistic. If you want to take New Mexico on the money line, I'm not opposed to that. Nevada's lost 3 straight games. They're 0-3 in conference, and they're playing in the Pit, one of the toughest places to play in all college basketball. If you want to take that instead of taking, like, Marquette, I'm not opposed to that. You can do New Mexico in there. I'm just going to stay off of it right now. But you could take New Mexico in there. Nevada's desperate, though. They've lost 3 games in a row. So you do want to keep that in mind. So let's go look at these 3 legs. That's plus 891. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. 3 legs, plus 891. Do we throw one more team in there just throw Nevada in there to get to plus 1,000? Just leave it at 3 legs. Or just do Marquette on the full game money line. Well, let me see if chat's with me. Let me see if chat's. Appreciate you, real exclusive, man. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. So what do we think right here? 3 legs at plus 891, or should we do one more leg? I like plus 1,000s. I do like plus 1,000s. We could do a really big favorite and still get to plus 1,000. I love that for us. I love that for us. This Zoom be messing me up, bro. I got to figure out this streaming shit, y'all. All right. Celtics lose today. Celtics lose today. Plus 2,000. No, fuck that. You know what? Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what they say. Let's just go 3 legs plus 891. Let's not go greedy on this. We're going to go for a quarter of a unit, 25 to win 222. All right? That's what we're doing. That's the free 3 for today. I'll be back on stream around 5, 4 o'clock later on this afternoon when we get a little bit more information. But here we go for the Action Network. If you guys missed it, this is what we... Okay, my boy Real Exclusiveness said let's do plus 1,000. Fuck it. All right, let's do plus 1,000. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll. All right, I'm adding one more leg to it. I'm adding one more leg to it. I'm adding one more leg to it. And we're just going to do a big money line favorite just to keep it simple. So we're going to go... Long Island might win today too, but let's not get carried away. All right, we're gonna go Xavier. We're gonna go Michigan State. We're gonna go to the Pit. Let's just take New Mexico late night. Let's just take New Mexico, and then let's go to the NBA. Actually, let's just do 2 NBA and let's do 2 CBB. Let's take out. We got Grizzlies at plus 142. Sorry, I hit the mic. My bad. And then Magic against the Raptors. Magic against the Raptors. Hold on, I gotta delete one of these legs. It's New Mexico. The Raptors been playing good ball though. I want to stay off of that. Magic been bullshitting. All right, let's go. I don't want to take the Cavs. Fuck the Cavs. All right, Grizzlies. Let's just go Pistons. Let's not overthink it. Grizzlies, Pistons on the money line. And then we're going to go Michigan State and Xavier on the money line here. That will get us to plus 1,000, guys. And that will lock us in for the free 3 today. All right, my friends. Be back on stream a little bit later on this evening around 4 or 5-ish. Make sure you guys tap in. I will be on Surgical Stream pitching a play as well. $25 to win $352. That's not bad for a quarter of a unit on our long shot for the day. Let me delete this one out. And that's our plays. So we got the 3-way parlay. We got the 4-way long shot. We've got our MSU plus 100. And then we also have got our Grizzlies plus 3.5. Right, my friends? Here you go, real exclusiveness. This is the slip right here. I'll be back on a little bit later for NBA player props once we get a little bit more injury news. Right now, from a player prop perspective, I'm taking a look at Hartenstein's rebounds. I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns' rebounds. I've looked at what else have I looked at today? I might run Austin Reeves' assists back as well. I like Malik Beasley's points. With no Jaden Ivey, he's going to get more minutes as well. I like him. Hold on, I made a few notes over here, so I'm just trying to see what notes I have for you guys on player props that I have so far. CJ McCollum's 3-pointers over 2.5. I like that as well. Those are a few player props that I have on the board that I've been looking at. All right, my friends? So we'll be back tomorrow. Real exclusiveness. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. We'll be getting the stream jumping, man. I plan on promoting it. Plan on getting more people out here, getting some guests and stuff. But, appreciate all the love, support that you guys have shown me, from the community, gambling, Twitter, everything like that, man. We're going to have a day, 7-2 to start the year. Let's keep the momentum going. It is your boy, Noble Living. We're here every single day. This is the free 3. Appreciate all the love and support. Subscribe to us on YouTube at DYF Bets if you have not done so just yet. And then also on all the social media platforms. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar. See you on tomorrow's video. And as always, dictate your fate. Let's get it, gang.